So one of the challenges I'm running into in the sales game today is our beliefs. I'm not 20 years old anymore, and the things I used to do in the 70s and the 80s don't work anymore. And I think for so many salespeople and sales leaders, it's an issue of challenging those beliefs of what works and what doesn't work. And what do I mean by that? One of the things I see a lot of now is with the different generations that are in the workforce. We've labeled them X, Y, Z, boomers, whatever, but there's these different generations. And my kids who are in their 20s now are hitting the work world, and they've got a very clear vision of what they want to do or don't want to do. Whereas the boomers, we did whatever it took. We worked long hours. We did all of those things that we thought worked. And our kids are saying, you know what, I'm happy to work for you, but my family has a cottage, so I may leave on Thursday nights and or I party on Thursday nights, and I may come in hungover on Fridays, and or I'm going to leave early to go to the cottage. And as long as you're okay with that, I'm going to come and work for you. And for the boomer generation, that just sends us over the edge. But that's how they view the world. And so understanding that is, how do we now sell to that market? Because they're getting from their 20s to their 30s. How do we sell to Gen X and Gen Y, which are a different breed of people? And how do we sell to the boomers? Because the boomers are going to start putting more and more pressure on the system, both from a healthcare standpoint, from a mental and physical health standpoint. And we're going to have to learn how to deal with that, both from a selling standpoint and how to manage those kinds of individuals when we sell to them. So one of the challenges I have to all sales leaders out there is, what beliefs do you need to challenge? What are the things you need to change moving forward that aren't working anymore? Number one. Number two is, where aren't you having success right now? Where do you need to change how you believe about that? And how do we do that? Well, one of the things I suggest is to sit in a room with your leadership and or with some of your salespeople and or your customers and talk to them about what's happening out there right now. You know, the world is changing very quickly. And if you sit down and spend a couple of hours with them and ask them, how do you like to be sold to? What's important to you in the selling process and when you're being sold to? What's different for the different types of individuals you have in your organization? I mean, we live in Canada now. Not only are we multicultural, we've got male-female issues, we've got young and old issues, we have religious issues. There's so many different things that go on in the workplace now, and we have to be very conscious of those when we sell into them and when we're dealing with that. So one of my challenges to all of you out there is, what beliefs do we need to challenge? What beliefs do we need to change? And what are you going to do about that? And moving forward, what does that new process look like within your business?